Hello everyone, my name is Nachiketa and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how you can detect your face and eyes using Python and OpenCV. So the project is pretty basic. I'll just run you through the code. There's a classifier called as HAAR classifier which has been pre-trained on detecting faces. So the concept is pretty simple. You call that classifier, you give it the input from the webcam and it will automatically detect your face and draw a rectangle around it. Similarly, there's an eye classifier which can detect your eyes in it, and there's a certain bit of manipulation that you have to do in the code, and I'm going to explain that as we go through the code. Before diving into the code, let me just run this code and show you what the output is going to look like. So as you can see, the program draws a blue box around my face and certain orange ones around my eyes, and because I'm wearing spectacles which are very thin frame spectacles, I think there is a slight bit of error in detecting the eyes. I think if I remove my specs, it becomes much better. So that is what we're going to do in this code. So let me just straight dive into it and show you how to get started. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to install Python and you have to install the OpenCV library, which is basically the computer vision library for Python. So you install it using the pip install opencv/python command. You import CV2 in your workspace. First thing, as I said, you have to import the face and eye classifier. So for that, there's a function called cv2.cascade classifier, and inside this you have to provide the link of where the classifier is stored. So I'll give you the links for this HAAR cascade face classifier and HAAR cascade eye classifier, and these are basically pre-trained classifier which can detect eyes and faces in any given input. So you have to write these two lines and load these classifier. Make sure that these classifiers are present in the same directory where your Python code is. The next thing is we start capturing frames from the web camera. We do that using cv2.video capture, and 0 is the default parameter that we write for accessing your web camera. If there are multiple cameras in your laptop, you can change that to 0, 1 or 2. Now basically we're gonna be running an infinite loop. Detect the faces in a video from your web camera. First thing is to read frames from your camera. We do that using cap.read, and which returns two things. One is the image that it captured, and the second is RET, which is basically a boolean value. It is either 0 or 1 depending upon whether it was successful in capturing the image or not. So once that's done, so we're gonna be converting the colored image into a grayscale image, right? Because when you convert it into grayscale, the image size gets reduced and it's easier to process that and detect faces in it. We do that using the cvt color function, and we get the gray image as the output. Once that's done, we simply call the face cascade.detect multiscale function. Detect multiscale is basically going to accept the image as the input, which is gray. It is basically used for detecting images of multiple scales depending upon whether you're close to the camera or whether you're going to be far away from the camera. This function is going to take care of that. So basically, once this function detects the faces, it is going to return the coordinates of the rectangle around the face, right? It's going to be giving you coordinates of one diagonal, which is x, y, which you can see over here. And the other two things that it's going to be returning is the width and height of the rectangle. So we iterate through the rectangles that we get, and the rectangle is not yet plotted on the screen. So I plot the rectangle using cv2.rectangle, and I plot it on the colored image, and here is the coordinates of the rectangle, right? So x, y is one diagonal, and x plus w and y plus h is the opposite diagonal. And here I specify the color of the box, which is basically blue, and the thickness of the line of the box. That is done. Now my face has been detected and a rectangle has been plotted around it. Now to detect eyes, I basically want something called as the ROI, or the region of interest, because I want to detect the eyes only inside the rectangle of the face. I don't want to detect eyes in the entire image. I do that using simple slicing. I take the gray array and I extract y to y plus h and x to x plus w, which are basically the coordinates of the rectangle. I similarly extract the region of interest in the colored image as well, and only inside this image I'm gonna be detecting the eyes. So like we detected the face, I'm calling the detect multiscale function using the eye classifier. However, the input in this case is gonna be the region of interest, or basically the face inside the image. Now, like we plotted a rectangle for the faces, we similarly plot a rectangle for the eyes using the same command, and we're just gonna be using a different color this time, right? We're gonna be plotting it in orange color. And once this is done, we plot the image in a separate window using cv2.imshow command. And what I'm going to be doing is, since the model is running an infinite loop, I accept an input from the keypad using cv2.wait key, and whatever key the user presses, the ASCII value of that is going to be stored in K. And the ASCII value of the escape button on your laptop is 27. So whenever the user presses 27, I'm going to break out of the loop and stop the program. Once that is done, I have to close the window using cap.release, and whatever windows I had drawn, I can destroy that using cv2.destroy all windows. And that was it for this video. In my future videos, I'm gonna be doing more projects like face mask detection or detecting gender and emotions. So that is why I brought out this video as a starter to my upcoming videos. So if you did like it, do like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.